Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to the Empowering Women in Menopause podcast. It is your host, the lovely perimenopausal Trudie German. I don't know where that came from, but if you are returning, welcome back. If you are new here, hey, welcome, girl. So, on this podcast, I talk all things perimenopausal, the good, the bad, the ugly. I address some of the issues may be having and offer realistic tips to help you navigate this transition with ease. Because regardless of what you may think, it is not normal to feel like crap during this time. Um, Even though those symptoms are common, they're not normal. And I help you navigate this transition with ease and grace because maybe 4 years ago when I entered it, it was hell for me. And now I'm good and I'm helping women like you. I do have a program starting September 30th. It is a 12-week program where I help you sleep better through the night. I help you feel energetic, have energy, and I help you lose belly fat. And once you start feeling better and once you have more energy, you'll find that a lot of your other symptoms subside. So, in the show notes, go ahead and click the link so you can schedule your call. And enough of the housekeeping things. Let's get into this week's episode. All right. So I did mention, and if you don't know, I am a perimenopausal coach. So I work specifically with women over 40 going through perimenopause. I don't work with 20-year-olds. I don't work with 30-year-olds. You have to be 40 and over and going through perimenopause because at this stage, your bodies our bodies are different. What we did 10, 15, 20 years ago to feel better, to have more energy, to lose belly fat, it doesn't work at this stage. And I'm sure you are realizing that. I am sure you are experiencing that. So when women come to me, top three things they complain about: lack of sleep. Either they can't fall asleep, they fall asleep, they don't stay asleep, which means the next morning they dread getting up because they feel tired, they feel like crap. Next up, we have belly fat. The weight gain is packing on and it's sitting right on their stomachs. They don't like it, they want it gone. And the number one is feeling tired. They are feeling tired. They go to sleep tired, they wake up tired. By 1 o'clock midday, they hit a wall, they're barely hanging on. They also isolate themselves because they're just always tired. They're tired of canceling, they're tired of their friends and family making fun of them, how tired they are. They're tired of trying to explain why they're so tired. And half the time, they can't even explain it themselves. So, today's podcast episode, I'm going to talk about why you are so tired during perimenopause and what to do about it. So, grab your pen, grab your paper, grab your phone. I want you to actually take notes. So, as I said before, women come to me, they're like, girl, I am tired. My husband is like, why are you always so tired? My family is, why are you so tired? I have women coming to me, they're like, even my friends know that I'm at the point now I can sleep sitting up because they know I'm going to be tired, right? And I remember when women started complaining to me about this. No, let me stop using the word complaining. When women started expressing their frustration about it, because when you're consistently tired, you can't enjoy your life because you're too tired to do anything. And then you try to rest, you feel like you're too tired to rest, right? And I remember I didn't really understand it, to be honest with you. And then I started experiencing it myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this what women are talking about? Oh my gosh, I'm only experiencing this for a few weeks and I feel like crap. How are women functioning like this for weeks, for months, for years? And then on top of that, you still got to do life. It's not like you can just rest. You're tired and you still got to get your period. You're tired and you still got a wife. You still got a mom. You still got to be girl boss, boss chick. You still got to work. I'm like, how? How? Why? So I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why you're so tired during this transition. I've spoken about estrogen before, and I know I keep saying this. Eventually, I am going to get around, hopefully, before 2024 ends, to talk more about estrogen. But estrogen plays a part in this because the bottom line is we go through menopause, we hit menopause. So we go through perimenopause and we hit menopause as our estrogen levels are dropping. That happens naturally. Estrogen levels are supposed to drop along with progesterone. The problem is because we are so stressed, our lifestyle is so stressed. And I know some of you will be like, girl, I know I am stressed. And some of you are going to be like, I'm not stressed. But I promise you, most of us are stressed. And if you think you're not stressed, if you have any of these perimenopausal symptoms, the tiredness, the moodiness, the anxiety, the insomnia, the weight gain, the crawly skin, the more stressful your lifestyle is, the more perimenopausal symptoms you are going to experience. And I have spoken about stress in a previous podcast episode, and I'm going to make sure I link it below so you can listen to it. I'm also going to link to the one about sleep and the one about cortisol because they all interact. Here's the problem that a lot of us, and I'm going to throw myself in it because I did experience this a few years ago. One of the signs that told me I was perimenopausal. And, estrogen and progesterone are supposed to naturally and slowly decline. But because our lifestyle are so stressful, we are climbing the corporate ladder, we're changing jobs. You're parenting your parents who don't listen, you're parenting your children, you're preparing for your children to go away to college. There's so much going on. Plus, your body is changing. You don't understand what's going on. So now you're thrown because of so much stress we are dealing with on a regular and on a daily basis. Instead of estrogen and progesterone slowly declining, they start declining rapidly. And they're declining so rapidly, you don't have time to figure out what's going on. And half the time, to be honest, you don't even know what's going on because the reality is no one prepared you for it, right? We only know about menopause, but I feel like now we have people like myself and we have a platform where we're able to talk about it. Estrogen helps to give us energy, right? So if estrogen helps to give us energy and our estrogen levels are dropping, what do you think's happening? We're losing energy. And then with that, we still haven't made lifestyle changes. We're still doing life the way we were doing life 10, 15 years ago. And then we can't understand, I'm not doing anything new. Why do I feel like crap? Because our bodies are tired. Our hormones have been going for years. And now it's just like, girl, I am tired. I need you to start taking care of me so I can communicate with the other parts of the body to do what we're supposed to do. Because that is what hormones do. Hormones are chemical messengers within your body that, um, you know, that bring messages to each other and tell our bodies what to do. We have a lot of hormones. So if they're not able to communicate with each other, how's our body supposed to function? How's your body supposed to know what to do? And when and if one hormone is misaligned, everyone is misaligned. It's like, I'm not having fun, nobody's having fun, right? So some of the hormones that may be misaligned, I'm not going to list all of them. I'm going to talk about some of the important ones. Estrogen may be too low, too high. I know I said it's dropping, but if anything is too low or too high, we're going to have a problem. We need the right balance. If estrogen is too low or too high, um, there's a hormonal imbalance. If your thyroid levels are low, you're gonna have a problem. I remember when I had hyper, which is an overactive thyroid, I was so tired. I was so tired. There's no way I could ever explain that tiredness to you. Um, if testosterone is low, is if um, progesterone is low, if cortisol is high, the bottom line is one of the main reasons you may be feeling tired, imbalances in your hormone. And if one is misaligned, everyone is off. For example, if estrogen is misaligned, cortisol, which is the stress hormone, is going to be misaligned. If cortisol is misaligned, melatonin, which is the sleep hormone, is going to be misaligned. If there's an imbalance in blood sugar, cortisol is going to be off. Like there's everything and everyone works together. And when one is out of balance, everyone is thrown out of balance. And one of the biggest things that throws our hormones out of balance is our stressful lifestyle. I'm going to link the podcast episode below where I talk about how stress affects you during perimenopause and how it prevent so many things. So I'll do a quick recap here. If your body is stressed, you're probably going to be bloated because your digestion is going to be off. If your body is stressed, you're going to be gaining fat because your body's not absorbing the nutrients you're eating, because your cortisol levels are running all over your body, and it sends you into fat storage mode as opposed to fat burning mode. If you're stressed, you're probably not sleeping properly at night. And then if you're not sleeping properly at night, your body can't repair, rebuild itself. The hormone that tells you you're hungry and you're full is going to be misaligned. You see what's going on here? You see the ricochet effect it has? As I said that, I want you to think of a domino. If you don't know what a domino is, go on YouTube and look up domino. You have all the dominoes lined up. The minute one falls, everyone starts falling, right? That's the ricochet effect. So, some of the reasons why you may be experiencing feeling tired, consistently tired, is of course the hormonal changes. I just mentioned them. The next one is cortisol level. If your cortisol levels are high or too low, then your estrogen level is going to be off. So, once again, cortisol, the podcast episode on cortisol is going to be linked below. If cortisol is not a bad thing, cortisol is supposed to go up and down. The problem is when cortisol stays high throughout our bodies. And if you ever find that you just feel like crap and you go to your doctor and they perform these blood tests, and they're like, everything's okay, but you're like, I feel like crap, the blood test may not show it because your blood test is just going to show that moment in time what your cortisol level is. And cortisol isn't something that just found in the blood, right? It's running through your body. So there's a test called the Dutch test, which I have my clients. We're going to start using those more. That'll give you a better indication of it. So, cortisol is a stress hormone. When this is high, it throws off your melatonin hormone. I'm sure you've heard of melatonin. A lot of people take it to sleep. Melatonin is the sleep hormone. So, when your cortisol levels are balanced, cortisol is supposed to be higher in the morning and melatonin lower in the mornings, right? Because in the mornings you're waking up, so you need a cortisol level to be high and melatonin is low because you got to go to sleep because you don't need sleep. Now, as the day progresses, the opposite is supposed to happen, especially in the evening. Cortisol is supposed to start dropping and melatonin is supposed to increase. When your hormones are imbalanced, and there's so many hormones, but for this, so let's talk about cortisol and melatonin. When cortisol is too high in the evenings, you may feel tired, but you can't go to sleep. You go to sleep in the night, you can't stay asleep. You go to sleep at 10, by 12:30, you're wide awake. You go to sleep at 10, by 3, 4 a.m., anywhere between 1 and 3 a.m., you are wide awake. You are tossing and turning. You feel like crap. You can't go back to sleep until about half an hour before you wake up. Now you wake up, you are moody, you are groggy, right? So that could be one of the reasons because your body's in stress mode, you cannot go to sleep. So now you feel tired all day. 1 o'clock, then you're getting by off coffee, you're not eating, then come 1, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you feel like you hit a wall, you reach for another cup of coffee or an energy drink or something to pick you up, and you continuously feel like crap. And the cycle continues and the cycle continues, right? So that is one of the reasons why another reason why you may feel so tired and lethargic. Other things that cause stress to the body: fasting, dieting. This is why, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm very active on Instagram. And whenever I'm posting content for you, a woman over 40 going through perimenopause, I make sure that I say, if you're a woman over 40 going through perimenopause, do or do not do this, because at that stage, our bodies are different. What the little 20-year-old is doing, what we did at 20 and it worked, it's not working now. So here's what a lot of you are doing. And I know this because I have conversations with a lot of you. I am working with some of you. So you start gaining belly fat. So you decide, all right, 10, 15 years ago when I wanted to lose weight, all I had to do was eat less, whether that was to be any type of intermittent fasting. So, for intermittent fasting, I'm just assuming you know what it is. So, intermittent fasting is you are going a certain amount of time sorry, I had to check my mic. So, if I sound weird, that's what happened. You're going, you're only eating within a certain amount of time. You're eating anything, but you're only eating within a certain amount of time. So a lot of women love to do no eating for 12 hours, eat for 12 hours. So we'll call it 12 and 12. So eat for 12 hours, fast for 12, or eat for 18 hours, fast for 6. Eat for 16 hours, fast for 8. Eat for 20 hours, fast for 4. So you decide, okay, 20 years ago, I did intermittent fasting and I lost the weight real quick. You decide, okay, the belly fat is coming on and now I want to lose the belly fat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do intermittent fasting. So you start doing 12 on, 12 off. You're not seeing the results. You feel like, oh crap, it seems like the belly fat is coming faster than it's going. All right, 12, 12 isn't working. Let me shorten my eating window. So now you're fasting for 18 hours, eating for 6. So you're fasting for 16 hours, eating for 8. Boom. Nothing's happening. You're gaining more fat. So you just keep shortening, shortening, shortening the window, and you're like, nothing's working. Why is it not working? And you're like, oh my gosh. Or you may start counting calories. You're only eating 1,200 calories a day. You're only eating 1,500. So you'll start with 1,500 calories a day. Then you're not seeing the results. You drop it to 1,200 calories. You're not seeing the results. Babe, girl, honey, boo. It is not working because that is a lot of stress you are putting on your body. You already have the regular stress of life that you are walking around with. Now you are going to add this stress to your body. Because when you're not eating for a certain amount of time, that is a lot of stress you're adding to your body. So, of course, you're not eating enough. You feel tired because food gives you energy. Another stress you're adding to your body, dehydration. You're not drinking enough water because you don't feel thirsty, or you're too busy because, or it's going to send you to the bathroom. Those are other stresses you're adding to your body. So you're not eating properly, you're not drinking enough water. Whatever energy your body needs to do anything, to sit on the couch, because yes, you need energy to sit on the couch. You need energy to concentrate at work. You need energy to concentrate when you're driving. It starts taking, since there's not enough food in your body to give it the energy, it start taking it from whatever muscles you have. It start taking it from the cells in your brain. It start taking it from your hair, from everything else, and you're not replenishing enough. So you see what's going on here, girl? So this is why I'm like, please do not diet. And if you're like, girl, I don't feel hungry, that's another sign your hormones may be imbalanced, right? So that's some of the reasons why. So, what should you be doing? Oh, sorry. Before I get to what you should be doing, I kind of fast forwarded there. I had to check my notes. My bad. That's why I love my notes. So, some other things that may be causing you to feel tired. You're not eating enough. You may be having 3 meals, but what are those 3 meals? Are each of those meals a handful of um, spinach, kale, and then a sprinkle of chicken breasts, right? Or are you going all day without food and then at the end of the day, you're cramming everything in? That's also adding stress to your body. What you should be doing, you need carbs. Carbs is your primary source of energy. And I did a podcast about that. I am going to link that. And I know I'm giving you a lot of things in these podcast episodes, and you're like, girl, which am I supposed to be doing? I'm overwhelmed. Yes, you're supposed to be doing all of them, but this is why you have someone guiding you as to where to start and the steps to take, what to do, when to do it. And this is what I do when I work with women. So definitely hit the link below in the show notes to schedule your call so we can connect and get you started September 30th, 2024. All right, carbs is the primary source of energy. If you are not eating enough carbs, where's your energy going to come from? If you're not eating enough carbs throughout the day, not just at breakfast, not just at the end of the day, you need it throughout the day. How are you going to have energy to do anything? How are you going to sleep through the night? And if you don't sleep through the night, you're going to feel tired. Do you see what's going on here? So here's, and you also got to make sure, you're taking it easy on your caffeine intake and your processed sugar, because and I used to do this because, well, since I turned 40, I kind of cut down on the caffeine. So you're lacking in energy, you have a meeting, you have things to do, you make a coffee, you stop at your favorite coffee shop, wherever, and you get the caffeine fix. It gives you a jolt of energy and it works for a bit. But babe, you haven't eaten enough. So what do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna come back down, and now you're having coffee at 3 in the evening. You may experience issues sleeping at night. And if you can have caffeine at any time and go to sleep, that is a sign, another sign your hormones are imbalanced. Same thing with the processed sugar. You need that quick energy. You have a donut to give you the energy because you didn't sleep properly. You didn't eat enough proper carbs. So now you need the energy. And then once that has worn off, you got to have another one. You see where I'm going with this? You see the cycle? So it don't stop. I'm going to tell you what you should be doing to help you give energy. And it is important that I let you know, once you start it, it is not something that's going to happen within a week. I want you to be realistic. I want you to remember where you are now, what you're experiencing. It didn't take you a week to get here. You've been here doing, unhealthy behaviors, stressful lifestyle, good 10 to 15, 20 years. So it can take you anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks consistently doing what I'm about to tell you before you start feeling a difference. When I do some of these things with the ladies who come to work with me, I promise you, in 4 to 6 weeks, they are sleeping at least 6 hours per night. These are women who were maybe sleeping 2, 3 hours, if that long. And even with that, it was broken sleep. They were getting up, feeling tired, feeling lethargic, eating one meal a day, 2 meals a day, if that much. And I help them. So if you're like, girl, this is too much, definitely click the link and schedule your call. Yes, yes, I keep telling you to do that because I want you to do that. I want to help you. So here's what you need to be doing. You need to be eating at least 3 meals a day. You need to be having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And please do not tell me, oh, I can't eat so much in the day. Girl, if you cannot have 3 meals at least, that is a huge sign your hormones, your cortisol level, your leptin, your ghrelin, your estrogen is really imbalanced. And we need to work to get those balanced so you can start feeling better. So you need to be having at least 3 meals a day. Each meal need to have carbs. Your carbs could be rice, it could be potato, it could be bread, it could be pasta. Yes, you need those things. Please ditch the darn no and low carb. I almost said something else there, right? So each meal needs to have healthy carbs. You need fiber, you need protein, you need fat. After you've had each meal, you need to be full, feel satisfied. If you feel bloated, then you had too much, right? You also need to be drinking at least a liter of water a day, not a gallon. Not everyone needs a gallon, especially if you are not drinking um, much water to begin with. You need those. And you also aim to eat around the same time every day. This definitely helps to balance your energy level. I'm not asking you if these things work. I am telling you they work because these are things I did for myself 4 years ago when I entered perimenopause and I was lost and confused. And I was like, why is it I feel like crap? Why is it I can lay on the couch and sleep for hours and still get up feeling like crap? These are the things I have done and continue to do with the women just like you in my program, my Thrive, Transform, and Glow through Perimenopause program. So, babe, if you are tired of feeling tired, if you are tired of your household, people, your friends, um, asking why are you always so tired? If you are tired of why you can't even understand or explain why you are so tired, I'm gonna need you to hit that link below. I'm gonna need you, and if for some reason there's no availability because y'all just coming in, shoot me an email. My email address is gonna also be there. But I want you to have energy because if you're in your 40s going through perimenopause, like, I don't want you to dread it. It does not have to be hell, contrary to popular belief. All right. So before I wrap this episode up, I'm going to remind you of some of the things that you should be doing if you want to have more energy. You want to make sure you're having at least 3 meals a day. And I'm not talking about, and I don't want you snacking throughout the day because that is not enough. Yes, you can have snacks. If between breakfast, lunch, and dinner you want to have light snacks, that is fine. But I still need you having meals because you need the energy. So you need to be having at least 3 meals a day. Each meal should have carbs, protein, and fat. You know what? I also have a meal plan. I'm going to list below that you can also make your purchase stuff to it if you need something. You want to also make sure that you're eating every few hours. Do not wait until the end of the day to have one big meal because that's not going to do anything. So, at least 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You want each meal to have your carbs, your protein, your fat, and you want to have at least a liter of water a day. I promise you, you start doing those things 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to start feeling the difference. You're not going to really feel a difference within a week. I'm being honest with you, right? Because we're undoing so many unhealthy habits. And don't forget to check out the show notes for the other podcast episodes I listed. And please come on over. Let me help you. Girl, I'm just thriving, and so are my clients, right? Until next time, bye. Oh, before I go, if you found this podcast episode helpful, please share with another woman over 40. And over on Apple, could you please review and rate my podcast? It really does help getting the episodes out to other women like yourself. All right, gorgeous. Bye.